Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color, and jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Man, I'm tired and the off season hasn't even started yet, bruh. Like, man. Like I got back from Mobile Wednesday night, and since then, the Saints still don't have a head coach. Saints Twitter brings up the lack of diversity in those who cover the Saints for a living. You know, shout out to D, shout out to Brian, you know, shout out to Jordan for bringing that up. After Sean Payton got, you know, he did like a dinner last night, 2 nights ago, whenever it was. Of like,
oh, really? That's where those pictures come from?
Yeah. Yeah, Peyton did a dinner, and then, you know, that was like a going away dinner essentially.
You imagine that shit? This Sean Payton of all people, like the man has been enemy number one of the media. Well, the media has been enemy number one to him.
Right,
like that.
Bro. Like we can't even tell the Ramones story, bro. Like, can't even tell that. Yes.
Can't tell it on the podcast.
So this man has detested the media, and then, you know, he feeling so good that he's no longer going to have to deal with New Orleans anymore. He's like, you know what? And two things. So we'll talk about the AK arrest in Vegas. We'll talk about our final thoughts from the Senior Bowl, head coaching. But the two thoughts that came to me the most, especially when those pictures came out with the Sean Payton dinner with the media. The first one was, oh, this nigga's not coming back. like he's gone. Like there is no chance of him ever being the head coach of the Saints again. There's just none. Not that I thought it would, but like that just really solidified it for me, because I'm like, this dude is done. Like he doing he covered all the dinner. He probably covered the dinner, the drinks. It was all on him, bro. He's done. He's done. And then the second thing I thought about looking at those, and I looked at the pictures very briefly, but it reminded me very, like, almost instantaneously when I went to that 7 a.m. presser at the Senior Bowl, where Jim Nagy came on stage. He introduced Kenny Pickett. He introduced Phil Mathis, defensive lineman of Alabama. And I just remember being in that room, in the ballroom. And the first thing I told you, the first thing I told my girl on the phone, she's back home in California, and I was like, it's so white. It's just, and it's not lost on me that all of that, it's all interconnected, right? Yeah. The lack of diversity in people covering the sport that's dominated by African Americans. There's lack of diversity in the media. There's lack of diversity in the head coaching, in coaching NFL teams. There's lack of diversity. There's no black owners. There's no minority owner, period. Lack of diversity in a lot of front offices. It's all interconnected. And I don't know why. Interesting thing, I don't know if maybe I'm the only one that does this, or maybe all of us do it. I remember when I was flying a couple of months, or like in January, I was flying back to Lubbock to spend time with my grandma to celebrate her 80th birthday. And I told her friend, at the time they're a friend, well, I guess whatever, but I told a friend on my flight, I got on, it was from LA to Houston. I had, like, in my head, I had realized that on that flight, there was more black people, like the predominant, majority of people on the plane were black, including myself. And them as a white person, they were like, wait, you do that? Like, and I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. Right. It's true.
I absolutely do. I have to be mindful of my surroundings and my situation, because sometimes on flights, on planes, or depending on where I'm going, I'm one of the only few black people on the plane. So that just the dynamic of how I have to think is completely different. So, and them being a white person was just completely like, wait, you do that? And I'm like, yes, I fucking do that. And
it's a question I always had is, because I assume all white people do that. Like, I just assume if they come into any situation, they're counting black and white and Hispanic faces.
I don't think
or not white faces. That's just what I've always assumed, because I do it myself, just like you, just like I do it. Like this job, the job where I work at now. I remember when I went, they bring you on, you go on an interview, and you bring you on a tour around the building, and I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna be the only nigga in this motherfucker if y'all hire me.
Right. It matters to us, right? Because I don't want to say it dictates how we have to be, but like just little shit like that is just so. And just that conversation, I wish I could send it to you, or I wish I could just transcribe it, because it was just like just the disconnect of, this is a black person living in America, and the things that we just consciously on the flight, I was like, oh shit, like we going to Houston, it's nothing about my people on this bitch, about the right, as opposed to like, okay, a bunch of white people. Anyway, not that I'm a thing against white people, but just the environment, right? The vibe is different, and you have to be mindful of that. I don't think people if you're not a minority, you really don't get it. Maybe as a woman, women can get it if they are in spaces that are mostly male dominated, right? Because it's kind of like along the same thing of them being at the mindful of like, okay, I'm like one of blah blah, so females in this area, in this party, whatever. But I think for us as minorities, like it's something that we've done a large part of our lives. Yeah,
everybody does it in a certain way, especially depending on your ethnicity or whatever, And I think black people, black African Americans, we have our own kind of category in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it's just different, just because of the circumstances we came up through this country and the history of our of our race and race relations in this country is just completely different from everybody else. And that's not some oppression Olympics type of shit like, oh, we had it worse than everybody. No, yes, everybody had their own shit. Jews, Hispanic, everybody.
All right, so slow down there, Whoopi.
You got to be careful. Can't just say the Jewish people, Native Americans, everybody, indigenous people, everybody got their own shit. I'm just saying the black experience is motherfucking different. You know what I'm saying?
Different, bro.
We did not come here as immigrants. You know what I'm saying? We're brought here. So it's just, and that's just the old history. Like you talk about currently, it's just taking on a whole different life. You know what I'm saying? To where we're trying to find our place in this strange world, you know what I'm saying? Which is our home. America's our home. As much as we talk shit about America,
yes.
I would talk shit with everybody. But it's like, it's our home. Like, it's where the fuck we've been. We've been here for 400 or 500 years, you know what I'm saying?
It's like,
but we're still trying to find a place in it.
Oh, absolutely. And it was just, I was a little surprised that was like the first observation I had being at the Senior Bowl at that press conference, right? You would think as someone who's been a draftnik since I was, 12, 13, it was like, bro, like it was fucking Kenny Pickett. He was on stage. I got to ask him a question from the seats. But no, man, like the first thing I thought when I walked in and when I left is like, we're just so underrepresented in a space like that. And
so what do you go ahead?
So then, so the fact that, the whole thing with the media thing came out with the Sean Payton pictures, it's I don't know how to fix it, right? I guess.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you attribute that to? Because it's like, look, I mean, it's not like we had to, get approved by some, authority to get to the Senior Bowl. I mean, we did, but it wasn't hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like, what's preventing others like us from dipping their toe in it? Just like we just podcasters, some content creators out here doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? What's preventing that from happening? You know what I'm saying? What's preventing that diversification that we're looking for? You know what I'm saying? Is it a top-down approach? Is it a bottom-up? Is it education? What is it? That's what I'm always wondering. I just don't know.
Wow, it's a hard question to answer. I mean, we've been doing this. It's approaching. Fuck, how long has it been? No, it's approaching like 2 years, isn't it? No.
Yep.
Yeah, it's approaching 2 years. And it's just one of those things where, because it was a Maurice draft. Ugh. Yeah, so it's approaching 2 years. It'll be 2 years this draft season. And I don't know. I think for us, we've been able to organically cultivate something. But like if we had just started the podcast, just two black dudes from Saints Twitter, like without me having have done a pod with Underhill for 5+ years, you have a Twitter following. Now it's at over 12,000, but it's steadily grown over time. If you would just put us together from the jump, would our podcast be what it is now, and would we have been able to do the things and get credentialed like we have? No, we haven't, right? Like, so I think that kind of plays into it too, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, this dude did a podcast with a guy who was white who covered the Saints, or maybe the same. Let's say I did a podcast with Ramon, who knows, right? Yeah, but I kind of had that the rub, right? I'm like, oh, okay. And then you've always had a huge following on Twitter, and you have a huge network of getting the message or content across to your followers. For us, it was kind of like it's been lightning in a bottle, and this is still very new to us. But I will say, because I don't know who all listens to this podcast, and I don't really care who does, because we keep our shit real. One thing that really stood out to me was Wednesday, right? When it was that whole press junket of all the players coming out. We get to, they're going to the podium, whatever. The same people, majority of those people that Sean Payton was taking pictures with, right? I won't say it, bro, because I don't care. I don't care, right? Right? 7 a.m. in the morning. This is not my job. I don't get, besides what we get through Patreon donators, and we appreciate y'all. And that's been, since the Senior Bowl, that's really been every day. It seems like we're getting a new Patreon member, which we appreciate. We love that. And we put that towards trying to have a better podcast, better equipment, whatever, right? We're at 70, almost 80 Patreons who help us every month with this podcast. But the fact that we don't work for a company that gets paid for this. We are not covering the team or an independent contractor or an employee.
No, you paid for your hotel this week. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. My rental car, I pay for that. But what I'm saying is 7 a.m. Wednesday morning was the day that the Lions, Dan Campbell spoke, Robert Saleh spoke, all the quarterbacks spoke, all the big names who were seniors at the Senior Bowl spoke. I was there. I was up. And it was hard for me, bro, because, it's Central Time, and I was born and raised in Central Time, but, like, my body's used to Pacific Time, so my body's 2 hours behind. But I was like, yo. and you on Central Time, and it was hard for you
Bro, and you know it was a 50-50 chance I was gonna show up. Like
I knew when I texted you at like 6:15, I was like, "You up, nigga?" And you was like, "I was up." I was like, "Okay, he up."
If it wasn't for that pep talk from my wife, I wouldn't have showed up, bro. She was like, "You gotta take advantage of this." I was like, "You know what? All right, I'm gonna set my alarm."
Right. Okay, so it's 7 a.m. You get there at a little about 7:15. I'm there at 6:40 in the morning, 6:40, just so I could like maybe get a good thing so I could stand. But what did I notice? There was no Captain Terrell. There was no Mike Triplett. There was no Sean from Fox 8. Where were they, bro?
Luke Johnson. But I mean, I'm not saying Luke wasn't there. I just don't know what he looked like. You know, was he there? I think Jeff Novak. I think Jeff Novak showed up.
I don't think Amy Just was there, even though she wanna do the Homer Simpson in the bushes, but she wasn't there. But what I'm saying though is it stood out to me that people who were in this picture with Sean Payton, the Saints need a quarterback, bro. We are starving.
Yeah, right.
You get a chance to ask Malik Willis a question. You get a chance to ask Kenny Pickett a question. Who was the person who asked Malik Willis if he had spoken to the Saints? It wasn't Catherine. It was me, bro. Just a nigga. Cause I was curious to know, and you know what? I was like, you know what? If I'm curious, I'm pretty fucking sure other fans of the team are curious too.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox of it. I'll say, and again, I don't know who else is this podcast. All I'll say is that it stood out to me, and maybe me and you are just built different. My thing is, if I have a job or if I have a passion, I'm gonna do it 110%. Right? Mm-hmm. That's just how I was built. That's just how I was raised. Now, you know, it just stood out to me. You know who I did see there? Shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Ross Jackson. Shout out to John Hendricks. Those dudes work. Grind. Just saying, man. You know, let's get off this subject because I don't want to feel like I'm burning bridges or calling people out because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just keeping shit real, right? Because as soon as that portion was done, me and you were in the garage. We're walking to our cars before we go to Ruby Slipper, and I asked you, bro. I was like, where the fuck were they?
Right. Where was NOLA Media? Like, where was the New Orleans media representation? You know what I'm saying? Like, Saints are in like this huge transition period. Like, I noticed other media. Like, I noticed other media coming through, like, you know, bum rushing through. Where was New Orleans at, bro? We down south. This is our hood.
Bro, I didn't care who it was, bro. If I had a question, and I'm in hindsight, so I can like you asked a good question to Dan Campbell about Aaron Glenn. I should have asked him about like, hey, when you became like the Lions head coach, you know, you had a good relationship with Sean Payton. I know that Matt Stafford was traded to the Rams. Was there any conversation about him maybe getting traded to the Saints last season, but because of that connection? You know, again, that's on me, right? That's a hindsight thing. I should have asked that, but at least we were there, so we could, if we had something to ask, we could have asked it.
And just to be honest, bro, like, here's the thing: a lot of the New Orleans media, bro, they've been around so long. They would probably say, like, let the young bucks eat that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're above that now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have their own little thing that they do. You know, they have their own little sources, a few little sources.
But I'll just say this, right? If that's how you think you're doing the people who want the most news a disservice.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. And we know this, bro. Like, New Orleans sports coverage sucks. Like, it's been this a long time. And look, I have my favorites. I love Captain Terrell, love Mike Triplett. You know, Underhill. You know, I know there's situations there, but outside of that, that's pretty much it. Like, New Orleans radio sucks. It's horrible. Sports radio, worst in the country. I don't know if there's a science on that, but I'm telling you, New Orleans radio is the worst in the fucking country. Like, there's no worse city with a sports city. Like, New Orleans is a sports city.
Huge sports city.
The worst sports radio in the country. It's terrible. It's just terrible, man. And it's like, damn. Like, and Saints fans are so passionate to the point we create our own fucking media. Like, but hey, look, here's the thing: is what's happening. This is happening like on a bigger level, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
this is happening on a bigger level, not just New Orleans. This is a phenomenon that's happening pretty much globally, where people are creating their own media. The legacy media is dying; it's dead. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all this shit. They're dying. The buttoned up host that gets on at 8:00 and we're reporting from New York today that it doesn't work like that no more. People don't consume media like that anymore.
The only people that do is like older people, like my grandma.
The boomers is still around for the boomers, like my mom.
Yep, my grandma
and all that. Yeah, but like the generation that's coming up, the Gen Z and millennials and everybody.
If it ain't on Twitter,
we curate our own media. We have our favorite journalists that we follow. We have our favorite certain news spots that we follow, favorite websites, certain podcasts. That's where we curate our media and absorb it and, dictate what the information we know. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're starting to see happen in NFL, where back in the day it was just Sports Illustrated, you know what I'm saying, NFL, Pro Football Talk, whatever. But now you have, every team has their own little fan-made sports media where we curate our own shit. You know what I'm saying? And I love it, bro. Like, I love that that's becoming just kind of a new phenomenon for, people coming up, for new fans and everything, that we got somewhere to go. Like, I remember we used to have to Google and search for Saints news. You had to find some Saints news. Like, I remember every morning I get up and I go to Google News and I search New Orleans Saints and then filter by date. And I find the latest just Saints news that's out there, whether it's a quote from anybody, whatever, But now we have it to where we have places we could go where just get the latest Saints shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not like controlled through this one little, this one little tunnel of information. We get it from everywhere. We get it on Twitter, unnamed sources, whatever. We got the info coming. Motherfuckers taking screenshots of Snapchat, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We getting the info. We ain't waiting on NOLA.com. We're not waiting on that Athletic or none of that shit, man.
No. Let's segue into that, or segue away from that, and this head coaching search, bruh. Still don't got a head coach.
Bruh, we ain't got no head coach, bruh.
No head coach. They wrapped up an 8-hour meeting with Eric Bieniemy today, a couple hours ago.
If that interview was a sham, Eric Bieniemy need to sign on to that class action lawsuit with motherfucking Brian Flores and sue them niggas, bro. I'm sorry. 8 hours. You interviewed for 8 hours. I better get the job. I want the job. I better be signing some papers tomorrow for $4 million a year or whatever, $8 million a year, whatever it is.
Yeah, they put that man through a whole work shift, bro.
8 hours. He better got some emeralds. You know what I'm saying? Got some Leah chips.
So my number one coaching hire that I wanted is off. He went off the board. Doug Peterson became the head coach. Head coach of the Jags. And so now it's Bieniemy, it's Aaron Glenn, it's Dennis Allen. There's some more names I'm missing. I love Pete Carmichael was like, nah, man, I'm good.
I'm good, yo.
Head coach? No. And again, the logical thing just says it's just going to be Dennis Allen. just get the band back together. Let's just, roll on, same old, same old. But I will say that the intensive due diligence that the Saints have done in this head coaching search is impressive, right? Because they could have just been lazy with the whole shit and been like, okay, well, it's going to be BA, so we'll just do this for optics.
That's what I expected. Like sometime last week they announced Dennis Allen was the head coach.
We both did, bro. We both did. So the fact that that hasn't been announced, it doesn't sound like Byron Leftwich sounds like they want to interview Byron Leftwich, but it's not going to happen. So at this point, they kind of have their candidates. I'll say this, because everyone was like, well, who do you want them to have been? I want some fucking oomph on offense, bro. I need it, bro. I need some oomph on offense. And so with that said, I think to really get that oomph, then I would my heart says bring me Eric Bieniemy, because then I think that can unlock a whole lot of things. He would not he would not take the head coaching job and be like, okay, what we have here in this offensive room is going to work.
Right.
Absolutely not. Logical if they just announce it's going to be Dennis Allen and blah blah. Wouldn't be surprised, but what are your thoughts on the head coaching search up to this point?
Oh man, I don't know, man. It's like we have this idea what Eric Bieniemy would be as a head coach, but it's just such an unknown. Like I don't know the guy. Like I barely know what his voice sounds like. Yesterday I just looked at YouTube and I found like one video of him talking. You know what I'm saying? Like I just try to wonder what does his voice sound like? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to figure out who he would be as a head coach, because honestly, it's going to be more than offense. It's going to be you got to be the CEO, and it seems like he has the potential to do that. I mean, he's been a part of the league a long time, played in the NFL. He's from New Orleans, played in the NFL. Coached in the NFL for a long time. Coached through college. Came up as a running backs coach. Became an offensive coordinator, been an offensive coordinator for the Chiefs for, 5-6 years now. And he's talented.
He calls the plays too.
Calls the plays. And look, Chiefs have been prolific. He called the plays when they had Alex Smith. And nobody would argue that they got the most out of Alex Smith.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, the dude is prolific, and he understands the pass game. He understands the run game. Look, he works under Andy Reid. How much influence does Andy Reid put on him? I'm sure there's plenty. But from what I understand, a lot of those weird little plays that they like to run every week was like, oh, what was that motion? What was this? What was that? That's Eric Bieniemy. That's not Andy Reid going through 30-year-old tape looking for that stuff. Apparently, that's Eric Bieniemy. So, that's the type of juice that we'll be getting, and that would be exciting. And especially, this year when you got the draft, when it comes to like who should the Saints draft if they do draft a quarterback, the head coach makes such an important key to that puzzle, and even Mickey Loomis talked about that because he's going to set the vision. So, like, somebody like Eric Bieniemy would kind of open the door for Malik Willis to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas maybe Dennis Allen does it, because Dennis Allen's a defensive coordinator. So he's going to play it safe. You know what I'm saying? He's going to go with the safe option, whatever that would be, whether that's Jameis or, kind of a milquetoast rookie or, a trade of Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever like that.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So, I lean towards that Bieniemy pick because it would kind of mix it up a little bit. Plus, I just want to see the brother get a job, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, like no one's fooled by what the Texans doing at all right now. Like, okay, we gonna hire Lovie Smith this year, but don't worry, Josh. Like, we got you next year.
Right.
Nah. Like I can guarantee you, as soon as that fucking as soon as that fucking story broke, the Brian Flores lawsuit, I know Roger Goodell had to call up the Texans and say, yeah, listen, y'all can't hire Josh McCown over Brian Flores. This, like, I don't know what type of under the table doing that that Roger setting the Texans up with, bruh, but there was no way Roger was gonna let there, because he's like, you know how bad that looked for us. Do you know how bad that looked?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I do too. Is part of me just has thought that the longer this has gone on, the more I've just thought, like, I don't know if DA is going to be the guy, right? Because, like,
I know, right?
Like, it's just like y'all. It's a wide net, which is a good thing. But it's like, did DA give y'all something that y'all felt like y'all just had to keep interviewing prospect after prospect? Because that's what it seems like. I mean, again, this is all external, but that's what it seemed like. It's like they interviewing this person. Like, damn, does DA get y'all worried? I don't know, man. It's just, I would assume we should have an answer who the head coach is within the next week and a half. It have to be. Like, the Saints are the only team, well, the Saints and the Texans, but it seems like the Texans are zeroing in on Lovie Smith. Saints are the only team that don't got a head, Saints and Texans are the only team that got a head coach right now, bro.
That's crazy, right? And Dolphins got Mike McDaniels.
Oh boy, that's gonna be that is.
I saw him. I was like, you know what? Maybe Pete Carmichael can get a job. You know?
No, that's exactly who Pete Carmichael reminds me of. That's
what he reminded me of. That's as soon as I thought, because I'd never seen it before. I didn't even know what he looked like. I was like,
right when the Dolphins hired him, the NFL sent fucking Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter. Oh, the Dolphins hired. He's mixed. He is mixed. He is biracial. Like, they were screaming that shit. Wow, bro.
Are you serious, bro? Are you serious?
I'm surprised they didn't put it in caps in their tweets, bro.
God, man. NFL media kills me, bro.
I think it was either Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter said who identifies as biracial.
Trust me, you're not getting pulled over for driving while black.
Absolutely not. But bro, they was on it quick. Like, they had it in the drafts. Like, he mixed black Negro.
NFL media is just like Russia media or China media or even U.S. media to a certain extent. Those memos get sent out. You know what I'm saying? And they know what to say and tweet. It's just complete bullshit, bro. It's so shit.
I know you was napping, bro. I gotta send you some of those tweets because they're fucking ridiculous.
Man, I was watching Boba Fett all day.
Oh yeah, we gotta get our boy fucking Hal back on this shit, bro.
Hal back, man.
Gotta holla at Hal. Shit, bro. Okay, let's stop it. Let's not stop ignoring elephant in the room. We're not talking about this AK shit. It was bad enough that, like, this morning there's diversity conversation, in Saints media, Saints Twitter, D, Jordan, Brian making salient points, and then we haven't identified who this person is yet. But someone in Saints media obviously had a burner, and then they make a tweet towards D and was like, basically like, put your phone down, get a Big Mac instead, blah, blah. And it's like, you get mad just because we bring it up, like just because diversity conversations are happening? Like, that says a lot in itself, right? So, like, that was the first, like, thing in Saints Twitter that started, like, the morning. And then, like, we're all, whatever, kind of dies down. D gets the IP address of who this person is, and then that person gets fucking rattled. We still haven't identified who this person is, but if we do, that shit's good. Anyway, so, Pro Bowl happens today. We all getting through our day. It's a lazy Sunday. boom. Alvin Kamara arrested, bar fight on Saturday. Like this altercation happened on Saturday. He still plays in the Pro Bowl on Sunday. Gets arrested like right after the fucking Pro Bowl. But because he's charged with like
Tupac, you heard me? Tupac.
But because he's charged with battery and like bodily harm, like it's a felony, and his arraignment or first court hearing is 1:30 tomorrow in Vegas. Oh, bruh.
We'll see, man. I can't comment on it until I see details. I just hope it was just some bullshit. Like, just... Well, I tweeted you yesterday, bro. Like, I just knew them niggas gonna be turned up out there. You talk about all these millionaires.
Yeah, you sure did.
You talk about all these millionaires out there in Las Vegas. All this testosterone and money. Come on, man. Something's gonna go down. Something.
The recipe for disaster, bro.
Something, man. What was the NFL thinking? Send them to Hawaii, Orlando. You know, nice, calm places. But Las Vegas, man, come on, man.
Yeah, so I mean, we really can't comment on it, but it's like the fucking tweet that you tweeted out. Almost, it'll be fucking 6 years old in a couple of months, bro. Can't, it's always something. It's
always some shit, bro. Always some shit. That's my team, though. Always some shit.
So, coach stepped down. No head coach. We got our star running back and our only piece of offense that we have. It's not arrested, bro.
Alyssa started that little daily calendar, and at first I was like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to fill this every day. Shit. Every single day there's been something for Alyssa to put on that calendar, bro. Every day.
That was just January already ended, bro. She already started a new month. We in February. Oh shit.
It's crazy.
It is. So you went to the actual Senior Bowl on Saturday, on yesterday.
Yeah.
I went to, before I left on Wednesday, I went to the first practice, drizzling, rainy as shit, sat through most of it. Just wanted to see, that was the team where it was Kenny Pickett, Carson Strong, Desmond Riddler. Just wanted to kind of just see them, how they were throwing in the rainy conditions and things like that. What were your thoughts? I know you and Bree went to the game yesterday. What were your thoughts being there at the game and what you saw?
I mean, I don't have any high level analysis. I thought Malik Willis, threw the ball well. He looked good. I thought Kenny Pickett looked fine. Carson Strong looked really bad to me. I thought Ritter looked a little better than I expected him to look in the game. Just the way he kind of moved in the game, the way he threw. Just in person, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. In person, it's just kind of okay, looks pretty good with everything working together. Sam Howell, I like Sam Howell, man. Like, I came at this with like literally no bias for or against Sam Howell because I just had watched him. My bias probably was a little negative against just because the school he went to. It was like, So just watched him at practices and during the game. I just like, okay, he's fine. Like, I'm not super high on him or anything, but I'm like, I could see him having like what's the former Jaguars quarterback?
Minshew?
Eagles. Minshew. Yeah, I could see him being like a Minshew type of guy, or like a high level Minshew. You know what I'm saying? Because Minshew is actually good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. He's a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I could see him being that style of quarterback where, no, he might not be the dominant playmaker of a team, but he could be that point guard distributor with a little moxie kind of guy that, that could start for a team. You know what I'm saying? So I came away kind of liking him a little more than I expected to. Our dude, Otito, he was flashing, bro. Like, I saw
man.
him. He was flashing, man. Other than that, nothing really stood out. Like the wide receivers, nobody really blew me away. I mean, they ran the ball a lot during that game.
Yeah, a lot.
I ain't gonna lie. Most of the time, I was focused on the FAMU band, just watching the band, and it was rolling, bro. Like the band was rolling, dog. So I don't know. Just being at the game was a little different than the practice. But man, that week I never forget it, man. If this was the only year we do that, it was great, man. I really enjoyed that shit.
It was something. What I found very interesting is going to the practice and see the players in practice, and then maybe you know, obviously we have our thoughts on players and what we saw, and then maybe we go, you know, at nighttime in the evening, or reading what other people think about the same players that you watch in practice, and how wildly sometimes different or like exactly the same your thoughts are that match with someone. So like the biggest player that seemed to be just wildly different than what I saw was like Kenny Pickett, because everyone says like he had an up and down week, and I was like what did y'all come in and expecting? Like Kenny, like I don't know what you expect. Like he is exactly who he is, right? You watch 2 to 3 games of Kenny Pickett, you have a very good idea of who he is as a player. Anyone who's listening to this podcast that has like wants to know what Kenny Pickett is as a player, I would advise you to go watch the game he played this year. Against Clemson. That is a game where for 70% of the game, nothing is going right for Kenny Pickett. His offensive line cannot block Clemson's defensive line. He's getting pummeled. He's getting destroyed. And he keeps getting up and finding a way to will his team to a win. Like it looks ugly at times for like 3 quarters, almost 3 quarters, it looks bad. And then he just kind of just does enough, making key throws, big throws, touchdowns, third down conversions, scrambles here and there when he needs to. Like I saw like that game in itself, I was like, oh, he gonna be all right. Like he's gonna be all right. But one thing that leaving the Senior Bowl, which I thought was a little dumb going into it, is now everyone's like, oh, Malik Willis quarterback 1, like he's gonna be, you know, like his quote unquote draft stock is ascending, which is crazy to me because I was like, it was all in the tape, like none of
all there, like nothing new.
And it's just like, and that's one thing I hate about like the draft process in general. Is just like these artificial like rises of players.
So predictable, bro. It's so predictable.
It drives me crazy, bro. Like I watched 3 or 4 games of Malik, and I said and I tweeted, I said he's quarterback 1. It's not even close. Was not even close.
What I told you after I watched him, I'm like, bro, he gonna go top 10. Like, stop.
Yeah, easy. There's no way he's not going in the top 10 of this draft. There's no way. Period. And now it's like McShay, Daniel Jeremiah. I'm just like, y'all are really bad at y'all fucking jobs. If y'all, because like I think Daniel Jeremiah has him like 35 or 38 in his top 50. What?
But I get his top 50 because it's player ranking versus quarterback. Quarterbacks get boosted up. But like 38, like come on now.
38. You're saying that there's 38 players in this draft better than Malik Willis?
If he was at Auburn, would he be 38? Like,
I'm
just saying, you know, like people do that. Like it's just the internal bias in schools and stuff like that.
I don't know, man.
I tweeted it, man. Like the infectious personality he has.
Infectious, bro.
Don't how that pertains to wins? Probably not at all. Not at all. You know what I'm saying?
But you could.
It matters. It matters. Like
it does. You could see it with just these are quote unquote brand new teammates, right? This was not his teammates at Liberty. These are
This
just
is why
players.
practices matter. This is why practice matter, because you just get to watch a player and how he interacts with all the players there. And you just see him just dapping people, just
remember he was like in the middle of the field, he was just doing a dancing little fucking jig, just swagging out. And like me and you noticed it, we were like, it's just something not like it's tangible, like you can see it, but you can't quantify it. But you can see that infectiousness and that swag and that confidence, it rubbed off on his teammates, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just good, man. It was a great experience for us to have. I'm like players that I noticed a lot in the one-on-one drills, like offensive line, defensive line. You already mentioned Tito. There's this offensive lineman, last name Penning. I don't know. I think he went to Northern Illinois, maybe. I don't know. He just continued. He flashed a lot to me in one-on-ones. I guess he had a great game as well, and his stock as an offensive tackle is going up. I mentioned the Raging Cajun offensive lineman that looked really good to me. His stock is going up. It's just like, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not trying to say it's quote unquote easy to scout players, because it is absolutely not. It's like it's just humans picking humans, but if you pay attention enough, like there are some things that can stand out to you. That's just very obvious if you watch it long enough.
Right, exactly. Like my dude Danny Gray, he got some pub, but he got hurt during the week. Braylon Sanders, like good players. You just see good players are pretty much obvious. Now it's harder to find those diamonds in the rough. Especially with certain positions. But man, like some players, man, they're going to show that they're good players, whether it's practice, during the game, or whatever. Those are the easy ones to get.
Yeah, they really are. What are your thoughts these next, let's say 2 weeks, right? Got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. And after that, it's kind of a lull. Super Bowl combines from the 3rd to the 6th of March. Then there's free agency. What are some things that you're hoping to see these next couple of weeks pertaining to the Saints in general? Like, what are some things that you're interested about?
Obviously, this week I'm trying to have a head coach.
Please.
And that would just solve that would just give me some clarity on what to look for moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So once that happens, hopefully this week, after the Super Bowl, it's like game on, bro. It's combine coming up. Start figuring out what you're doing in free agency, who you're going to bring back, who you're going to re-sign, any new players you're going to sign. It's time to get the ball rolling, man. It's time to remake your team. You know what I'm saying? Like Saints got a little work to do on the salary cap. They can get under the cap. Don't get twisted by the salary cap hawks.
Oh, they're in salary cap hell.
They can literally shave off $100 million without making a call. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, the shit's all in the contract. Don't worry about the contract restructuring. What if a player doesn't want to restructure and all that? No, shit's in the contract.
Which is already funny. Yeah, I didn't. Thanks for speaking of Catherine Terrell. She was the one who pointed that out to me, because for the longest time I didn't know that until recently.
Nah, man, it's in the contract. Like I forgot. Michael Lombardi always talk about paragraph 18 or something like that. I forgot what it's called, but it's like when you're designing a contract, it's already agreed to. Like Saints put that shit in all the contracts. So it's not even we got to call the player and get the okay. Nah, that shit's already fucking in there.
Well, restructure is agreed to. Like an actual pay cut is different.
Right. Yeah, pay cut. That's different.
Yes.
Completely different. But I'm talking about turning the roster bonus and signing bonus, turning salary into signing the roster bonus. You know what I'm saying? Taking that money and converting it so they get that shit up front, which is a good deal for the player.
Oh, absolutely.
It's what if motherfucker told you hey, instead of paying you every 2 weeks like we're paying you now, I'm gonna give you the rest of your salary of the year right now. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like the lottery, you know what I'm saying? They give you the option to get it, yearly or
yeah, all at once.
Payout. Give me the fucking payout. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no,
you never know what's going on. It's guaranteed. Then it's guaranteed money.
There's so many studies on that. Give me that shit yearly.
No, bro. Bro, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when you don't get it anymore, bro?
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna stop working. So,
so you're not gonna stop working? Like, if you get $1 million in, you're not gonna stop being a social worker?
Absolutely not.
That's great, bro. Like, that means you found the perfect job.
Yeah, I mean, I know my situation is very different though. I would absolutely not stop working. No. Now
you found the perfect job, bro. You're like 1 in a million, man.
I know, bro. Like I'm blessed that way. Now, would I take longer vacations? Oh yes. I think the longest vacation I've taken up to this point is when me and my girl went to Hawaii, and I took like a week off, and that was it. Maybe it was a little over a week, but yeah, that's the longest vacation I've ever had.
Man, I leave my job so quick.
Not only would I keep working in my job, I would still want to promote and become a supervisor. Like I'm serious about that. That's not BS. That is 100% real.
Man, you need to clip this and send that to your manager, bro.
No, like obviously, like working. I mean, it's a completely different conversation, but like one of the biggest things to having a good career is your boss, right? In upper management. And I've had the same boss for like 6 years, and I became a social worker the same time she became a supervisor. So we were both kind of new to the role together, and we both kind of grown together in that role. Like she's super understanding. She's cool shit. Yeah, I wouldn't change it. Yeah, I'll still work. Absolutely, I would. Oh yeah,
man, I love it, bro. Like that's fulfillment right there. That's what
it is, man.
People spend their life searching for that, and never find it, man.
Oh, I know. Now, would I go out and buy a bomb house like house? Of course. But yeah, I would still for sure work. Yeah, I would. That's not even a question in my mind. Anyway, getting back to the Saints. It's just there's just so many things that can happen over these next couple of weeks. The one thing I will say about the AK thing, right? I think I can say this, on the record, is that there was a lot of hesitancy about giving him that contract extension. Right? A lot of hesitancy about giving him that contract extension because they can't be involved in some things, bro.
It can't dip his toe. He dips his toe.
AK been involved in some things that has not gotten him in trouble officially, but he's had some fucking close calls. I'm saying this because I heard this information right before. So this was during the Ruiz draft, right? And the Saints loved Jonathan Taylor. And when I say they loved him, they loved Jonathan Taylor. And if you remember correctly, that was like the AK like contract year. He was going in the last year of his contract, and then things got light. And so they didn't draft Jonathan Taylor. Sean picks fucking Ruiz. And then remember leading up to the season, bro? Like AK wasn't returning Sean's calls, and then the Joe Cena Anderson report, like be open to trading him, blah blah blah. There's a reason there's some hesitancy about wanting to give him that money. I'm not saying, again, we don't know what the fuck happened in Vegas. I'm pretty sure when TMZ released the video, because we know TMZ gonna release the video at some point.
They got it.
And when they do, it's gonna be an epic day on Saints Twitter for great reasons or for terrible reasons, right?
We'll see.
The video is coming, and I would just say that the team had some hesitancy and some concerns about giving him a contract extension. That's all I'll say.
Yep, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what it's going to be. Because, Eric Kamara, man, he's the people's champ, bro.
He is. He is.
He dips his toe. He where the people be at. He don't go where the bougie people be at, the wine and crackers. He be with the slumlords, you know what I'm saying? He be with the hood, the goons. He won't be where the goons at, That's just him. So, that could put you in some situations that you don't want to be in. As much as we love it, I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? As much as we love it, it could put you in situations that you don't want to be in. But we'll see. You never know. I remember a report came out last year with, Aaron Donald or somebody. Because Aaron Donald, he got in trouble.
Bro, I was ready to get that nigga out the league, bro.
Like, yes. Suspend that bitch forever. But then a video came out. He was like, some dudes he was with was starting to fight or something, and then he broke it up or whatever. And it was obviously bullshit. Like, they were just trying to get money out of the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we'll see. We'll see. We'll wait. TMZ gonna have it. I just hope it's nothing bad because, man, like, if you talk about tradable assets, Saints ain't got much, but AK is wonderful.
Buddy. Better hurry convince Sean to go get that Dallas job, bro.
I'm saying.
I'll end on this. Who will be the next time we record? I would imagine the head coach is announced there for the Saints. Who's going to be the head coach of the Saints? Who you got?
Man, it's a hard question. That's a hard question. I'm going to go DA, bro. I'm going to just stick with DA. I'm just stick with it.
I wish. I'm
not hard on it. I'm not.
I wish I could say different, bro, but I can't, bro. I'll be with DA too, bro. We might be wrong, bro. We might be completely, totally wrong.
Could be completely wrong, and I'm fine with it. I'll be happy with. I'm just so interested to just know because when it comes to like how successful the head coach can be, we have no fucking clue. Less than players, less than anything you can do. We have no idea. Whoever gets hired is going to be good or not. We don't know, man. It's impossible to know. Impossible. There's no analytics for that, So we just going to see, bro. We just going to see. But, I love Eric Bieniemy. I'd be completely fine with DA. I'd be fine to see how that rolls.
I'll say this. If it's DA, I want to know, will he be given an opportunity to shake up the coaching staff if he wanted to?
That's what I want to know.
Because if he is, and maybe he wants to bring it, like maybe he said, you know what, Pete, I don't love the ride, bruh, but I need to shake something up. Bring him a new offense. And listen,
I think he will be given that. I just listened to that Loomis interview. It sounds like they don't give a fuck about that. Like they want whoever comes in to be the CEO. Like run that motherfucker. You want to let go, bring in a new staff, bring in a new staff. Want to keep the staff, keep the new staff. But like do it. You know what I'm saying? Like believe in it, whatever you're doing. It sounds like that's the case. I don't know if that's really the case behind the doors, but just me reading into it.
And I mean, they got to get this. They got to hurry to do this because like staffs are getting fucking assembled.
Yeah, the staff is Zimmer out there. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't gonna be out there for long. He put out a statement through somebody basically saying like he wants to coach this year. He wants to coach. He don't care about head coaching. He wants to be involved in football. Like you got to. There's talent out there, so you can't just wait so long. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be interesting, man, how they play this out.
Sounds like Mike McDaniel wants to get Vic Fangio as his DC in Miami.
He ain't going to be out there long.
Nope. I'm just saying, like, they gotta just figure it out. And I wish I could be a fly on the wall in those just discussions. Mickey talking to Jeff, talking to Gail, talking
Dennis, whatever his name is.
Just, oh man.
They trying to figure it out, man. Cause like I said, man, Saints have an opportunity to become the Steelers, the Green Bay, these long time franchises that had, multiple decades of winning, Saints have a chance to do that, man. So, this move here will be key to that, how that plays out. It'll be key.
Yeah, you don't want to become the Giants where you fire head coaches after every 2 years, bro.
And it can happen. It could easily happen, man.
Yeah,
it can easily happen. When you get this wrong, you're firing him in 3 years, then you bring in somebody else. You're switching offensive coordinators every 2 years. So whatever quarterback you bring in, he's not getting used to the offensive coordinator. So you don't really know if the quarterback is really good or not. So you're holding on to quarterbacks and you're quarterback purgatory. You're the Giants. You're the Giants.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, that's the worst spot to be, bro. Like, shoot me right now. Like, don't put me in that situation.
It's literally the worst position to be in as a fan, bro. It's the worst. We'll see, man. We'll see. I think it's going to be announced within a couple of days here. We'll go from there. Last question before we get out of here: Who you got in the Super Bowl?
I've doubted the Bengals every week, so I'm not going to doubt them, man. I'm just roll the Bengals, bro.
Okay.
Roll those Bengals,
I'm just going to go chalk and go Rams,
Makes sense.
Go chalk with the Super Bowl, go chalk with the head coach expectations. I might be completely wrong on both, but we shall see.
Aaron Donald gets that offensive line, boy.
Buddy. But can I say one thing in regards to that, right? Whoever becomes the head coach of this team, if there's anyone in the front office that listens to this podcast, I don't know if there is. But let's just imagine hypothetically there is, right?
Please.
You have seen a team in the Bengals that literally has a top 3 worst offensive line in the fucking NFL. Top 3 worst offensive line in the NFL, bro. But you know how they're able to overcome that? They have plethora of fucking weapons. Yes, and I'm not trying to undersell Joe Burrow because he's a huge part of that, right? But they got a number 1 wide receiver in Jamar Chase. They got a receiver who is a high end wide receiver 2, low end wide receiver 1 if he was just a dude, in T. Higgins. You got Tyler Boyd. You got CJ Umaza. I'm not even trying to. And then you got Joe Mixon. That is 5 players on offense who are supremely skilled. And yeah, you have Joe Burrow, he's the maestro. Obviously, he plays a huge factor into that. But my point is, I'm trying to illuminate is that I'm not saying offensive line doesn't matter, but the Saints have had Teron Armstead, Eric McCoy, and Ryan Ramczyk, and it ain't really led to shit.
I'm saying.
All I'm saying is that offense fucking matters. When Robert Woods of the Rams went down and they had Cooper Kupp, who was playing like a top 3 wide receiver in the league, you know what the Rams went out and did? They went out and got Odell, bro. Offense fucking matters. Weapons.
It made a complete difference.
Weapons on top of weapons on top of fucking weapons. They matter in the NFL. So I don't care who the head coach is. Can we just get some fucking weapons, bro? Man, our number 1 weapon in jail right now in Vegas, bro. That's just he is in a jail right now in Las Vegas. Can we get some fucking weapons, please?
Overdose this team with weapons.
Well, we've been saying that for years, for fucking years. And Sean Stale, Sturban ass, it's the system, blah 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 blah. Fuck out of here. Tired of it, Ryan. Tired of it. Fed up. Give us
How can you watch NFL on Sunday and then look at this? Look at this team.
Poverty.
And be okay with it. Like, how can you do that?
Poverty. Bro, we gotta watch fucking. No offense to Marquez Callaway, bro. No offense to him. He had a pretty decent season for all things, considered. But we gotta fucking watch Finding Nemo like fumble with fucking passes and false starts and head up, bro. It just gets me irritated just thinking like this is what we've reduced ourselves to. We out here rooting for Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Johnson's gonna be our Jimmy Graham, right?
Juwan Johnson. Anyway, let me get out. I'm getting off my soapbox. I don't care if it's free agency. There's a lot of options in free agency. I think the Saints can maybe get to $30 million in cap space when all is said and done. I think it's 20 to 30 with the right moves, right?
More than enough.
So free agency, just a ton of wide receivers. There's some tight ends. The draft, you could pick a Williams. You could pick a fucking Olave. Can y'all just give us something? Just something. Fuck, bro. Anyway, I'm sounding like I'm thirsty for some fucking pussy, bro. But just need something, bro. I'm tired. All right. We getting out of here. We'll be back. Well, I would imagine a head coaching announcement is coming this week, so that will probably lead to us recording an emergency podcast when that gets announced, so we can kind of deep dive into that when and if it gets announced. But if not, we'll be back as we always are. Again, everyone who's listened to us, who supports us, we really do appreciate it. I really mean it when I say that our podcast, there's no way it would be able to be where it is and what we've been able to do with it without the support of the listeners. We have our diehard listeners that listen to every single thing we do from the start of the pod to the very end of the pod. There's some listeners that just listen to just some of it. We don't care. We appreciate you all, especially all the recent Patreon people who donated on Patreon, people who've been donating from the start of us fucking doing this podcast. It's truly tremendous. We do have goal. Like I have a goal to go to the combine. I don't even care. I don't want to see people run. But when all the head coaches are at fucking tables and getting bombarded with questions, I want to be at that bitch because I want to be at whoever the head coach is, the Saints, and I want to ask them the hard-hitting questions that maybe New Orleans Saints media won't ask them. Also, it's not lost on me that Mickey Loomis decides to fucking and does an impromptu thing at the fucking Senior Bowl as soon as I'm on my way back to fucking Mobile, bro. What the fuck is that?
That's them, bro. That's them. That's how they do. They wait till the last day. And even with the combine, bro, like them and the Patriots are the only team that never send a head coach up there to talk.
They don't. No, not that presser.
Yeah.
But yeah,
okay. But you catch them on the side. Yeah.
No. You know when Sean, remember that time at the combine when Sean brought his contract out at the table?
I think that was a head coaching. That was the owners meeting.
Was that the owners meeting?
That was the owners meeting. Yeah. And we got to get into one of them motherfuckers, bro.
The white people ain't gonna never let our black ass into it.
Man, look, hey, we got the NFL communication.
Bro, we might go to that bitch, end up being on the stage, we get an auction, bro.
Get out there, motherfucker. Get out, man. Like, the hell we didn't walk this.
All right. On that note, we get out of here. We out.
Peace.
Convert this into
Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color, and jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.